Hello, my name is Marissa, and welcome to the video walkthrough for the Learn English with AI ebook. I'm so excited that you are joining me here. And remember, if you haven't looked into my Facebook page, Learn English with Marissa, Marisa, make sure you do that because I go live every week with tips, tricks, strategies, all about learning English. And well done to you for taking your English to that next level. I have no doubt you are going to do amazing, amazing things this year. Okay, without further delay, let's get into it. So, first, I am just going to share my screen with you quickly. Excuse me. And then we are going to. Okay, so let's start off with just when I am referring to AI, because there are obviously so many things that are associated with AI these days. I am talking specifically about language models. So these are the top 8 language models as I'm doing this in 2026. Of course, number one, ChatGPT, the original. And number 2, Google Gemini, perfect if you work a lot with Google, you have a Gmail account, can try out Google Gemini. Number 3, Microsoft Copilot, also great if you work for a company who happens to, or that happens to deal with Microsoft. You probably have access to Copilot Pro, most likely. So you could definitely use that for all of the things I'm going to show you today. Number 4, Perplexity AI, which is my favorite for deep research. I actually use all of these except number 8. And I use them all for different things, but I love Perplexity for doing deeper research. Claude, one of my favorites. I use Claude anytime I want to create recipes or things like that. So I know that if I'm dealing with food, I go to Claude. Grok, of course, is Elon Musk's version of his AI language model, or his company's. Number 7 is the Chinese language model, or at least one of them. DeepSeek, also really good. And then, of course, Meta AI, the only one I haven't actually worked with, so I can't comment, but it is quite popular with a lot of people. All right, so let's get started. Here is my heading, Learn English with AI, and here we go. Okay, just a little bit about me. I'm not going to read this whole thing. It's just a piece that tells you my name is Marissa. I've been an English teacher for 22 years. I am very passionate about English. Learning a language, it's not about being perfect. It's about don't stop practicing. I'm really proud of you for taking your language learning to the next level. Well done, you. Good job. Give yourself a pat on the back. And in case you didn't hear my Facebook page, there it is down there, Learn English with Marissa. There's my website as well. Okay, here's the table of contents, the welcome page, just in case you're feeling a little bit challenged by this whole thing, a little bit apprehensive. Remember that AI can be your study partner 24 hours a day. And that is what we are doing here. We are helping you, or I am helping you understand how can you make AI your study partner, not your brain, not the one who's going to do everything for you, but your partner, right? Who that you can ask questions to, that you can get to help you rather than doing it for you. All right. So number 1, part 1, we looked at the beginning of the prompt. Okay. Now the beginning of the prompt is the most important part. And when I talk about a prompt, the prompt is just what you are telling the AI model. So if you're using ChatGPT, what are you saying to it? That is your prompt, your original piece of information so that it can help you do what you need to do. And the beginning of your prompt tells the AI, like, who are you? What's your English level? What kind of help you need? And especially how simple the language should be. Remember, if the language AI is using is still complicated, you always want to say, make it simpler. Okay. But I will show you how you are going to prompt AI. So you shouldn't have that problem. Okay. Number one, and again, you can mix and match these. This is designed, it's an abundance. That means there are a lot of different parts of the prompt because I want you to try different things so that you can find what works for you. Number one, I am an ESL learner. If you're not sure, ESL stands for English as a Second Language. That helps AI understand straight away that it needs to use very simple English when explaining things to you, as opposed to your textbook, which does not always do that. Number two, I am a beginner English learner. So, again, this just indicates that AI needs to use simple words and shorter sentences. Then, of course, I am an intermediate or an advanced English learner. And if you are a specific level, if you're like A1, B2, you can say that too, because the AI will understand the leveling process when it comes to like if you're doing the various English exams that are out there. Number four, English is not my first language. Please use simple English. So you might prefer this one. Number five, I want to focus on this topic. This is very important because no matter what you're doing, you have to tell AI what is the topic that you want to focus on. It could be verb tenses, it could be sentence structure, complex, compound, simple sentences. So as long as you explain the topic, you will have a better chance of getting the answers that you need. Number six, please explain this in a slow and clear way, okay, which is great for grammar and various different concepts. Number seven, I am learning English for everyday communication. So that helps AI use more practical language as opposed to language you might find in a textbook. Number eight, I am learning English for exams and classes. This will help AI focus on being very accurate and specific when it gives you answers. Number nine, I want to practice English step by step. So you can try this if you want to learn a little bit at a time, right? I want to learn how to use this. I want to practice it step by step. Please give me the first step. Number 10, I want help understanding, not just the answer. That's when you actually want the AI to explain the concept to you. Why is this the right answer? This is great for your deeper learning. Okay, and of course, please act like a friendly English teacher, which changes the tone to be a bit more supportive and encouraging. Okay, next, please correct my mistakes gently. Now, you don't have to use gently. You could be like a friend of mine who tells his AI, don't be gentle, give me the truth, say it like it is. But gently, it's more encouraging and can reduce fear if you're a little bit worried about it. Number 13, please explain like I am learning this for the first time. 14, I want to improve my confidence in English. This encourages that positive feedback and motivation. And 15, I am practicing English and may make mistakes. So it removes that pressure. And you'll see as we go, you can also tell the AI to correct you with your mistakes. Okay, so now we've got the middle part of the prompt, which I organized in sections. And number one is the teaching style and explanation level, because remember that you're focusing on a topic of how you want help and you want to know how do you want the explanation delivered. Okay. So these phrases set the teacher mode of the AI. So explain this as if you are teaching a student. And sometimes I will even say a third grade student. You'll see I've mentioned this later. A fourth grade student, if you want to really simple, explain this like a teacher in a classroom. Explain this as if I am learning it for the first time. Explain this in a clear and structured way, using simple sentences and clear ideas. Avoid complicated grammar. And again, you wouldn't use all of these, but you can mix and match to see what works the best for you. Use plain English. And this matters because many ESL learners understand content better when AI is like a teacher rather than an expert. Okay, then we've got length and depth control. This is how much information do you want at one time? Okay, so these can help avoid with any overwhelm. Give me a short explanation first. Then, once that's done, you say, okay, now give me the next explanation. Now, explain it in more detail. Explain this in one paragraph. If you want just a very summarized version of the information, it's as well as with number two, explaining it in more detail, is if you want more information, you want it explained using a lot more detail, right? Explain this in bullet points. I always like using bullet points. Summarize this in three key points. So if AI gives you a bunch of information, which can happen, you can say, summarize this in three key points, or explain this to me rather in bullet points, explain this again in bullet points, or give me the most important rule only, right? Start with the number one thing I need to learn and explain this slowly. That is like going step by step. Next, you've got, as I just said, the step by step learning, which can be useful for any of your topics. And it's just exactly that. Teach me step by step, break this into small steps. And what will happen is the AI will give you the first step, and then it will say, let me know when you want the next step. And you can just say, okay, I'll take the next step, or what is the next step? What is the first step I should learn? What comes next? So after it's given you the information, you can say, okay, well, what comes next? Show me one step at a time and do not skip steps. Examples and real life context. This is perfect if you want to practice for real life situations that you might be dealing with in your country. So number one, use examples from real life. Use examples from school, from work, from business, travel related examples, everyday situations. You can pick and choose how you want to do this. Show me examples I might actually use, and give me examples with simple vocabulary. So, when you ask for the examples with simple vocabulary, again, it will make it much easier for you to understand. Number five, now it's your turn. This is where you get to practice. So give me practice sentences. Let me try, then correct me. Give me an exercise, right? Because it will focus on the topic. Give me five practice questions. Give me a quiz. That one isn't there, it's later on, but you could say that too. Give me a quiz. Ask me to write my own sentence. Help me improve my answer. So you give the answer, and you're like, help me improve this answer. Number six, feedback, corrections, and improvement. How do you want the AI to correct you or feedback? So you can say, correct my mistakes, explain why my answer is wrong, show me a better version, rewrite this more naturally, like an English speaker. Tell me if it sounds natural, then you would give it your writing. Correct me again gently. Focus only on my biggest mistakes. This helps you see where are the main areas that you need to correct first before you get into the smaller areas. Number seven, checking your understanding. Ask me questions to check my understanding. So you've given it the topic. Now you want it to make sure you understand. You go with that one. Ask me questions. It will ask you different questions. Quiz me on this. Stop and ask me if I understand before continuing. Because if you don't understand, you can say, I don't understand. Explain it in a different way. Ask me one question at a time. Tell me if I understood correctly. Check if I am using this correctly. So once you give it your own example, you can be like, am I using this correctly? And then test me after the explanation. This is great for if you're self studying. Number eight, comparison and clarification. This is where you might have two or three Grammar ideas. For example, the other day I had a student who wanted to know do, does, done, and did. So I said, okay, well, let's compare this. Give me a table, and I'll show you the table, and I'll show you the prompt for that in a second. Give me a table of these four words followed by a quiz, right? I have an ESL learner, and it did exactly that. And then she practiced with the quiz, and it was great. She understood it much better. Show me when not to use this. So that's also good. Show me when it's a mistake. Give me common mistakes, and I still don't understand, explain this in a different way, which I also mentioned already. Okay. This is optional but powerful. Okay, you can use it, you don't have to. Be patient with me, encourage me, remind me that it's okay to make mistakes, because of course it is. That's how you learn. Help me feel confident and explain this in a friendly way. Okay, customizing the lesson, just giving the AI an idea of what to focus on. Focus only on speaking, focus only on writing. Help me sound more confident, polite, professional, and natural. And I just wanted to show you, in case you don't know, when you go to AI, and you'll see it with ChatGPT here and Perplexity, you can do these two icons here. For the microphone, that means that you can speak. It will type what you have said, and it will respond back to you in writing. But for this one, this is voice mode. This means that you can speak, but the AI is also going to speak back to you. So this is brilliant for speaking activities, practicing your pronunciation, practicing just your fluency, being able to say things a couple of times so you can say them more fluently, practicing your orals for class. If you have a presentation that you're doing, you can practice here. And it's very, very useful. Also, and I didn't put this in the book, but I will show you guys as well here. If you have a textbook or a page of information, you can take a screenshot of that information, add the screenshot here under Add Photos and Files, and then say, explain this to me like I am in the fourth grade. And it will take the information from the page. This is perfect if you also are a parent and you have children who are struggling to understand something on the page that they are learning. You just take a screenshot, add photos and files, add the screenshot here, and just say, explain this to me like I am in the fourth grade, third grade, fifth grade, whichever grade you want. And it will take the information from the text and it will explain it to you in a much easier way, which is absolutely brilliant when you have to study or if you have kids who need to study. Anyway, okay, let's go back. So next, we've got the end of the prompt. These are totally optional. They just can help. Number one, create a table of how to use this topic. I've often create tables. They're very useful. Include an example sentence and explanation for each part. You might want to say, include two sentences or two examples. After that, give me a quiz. Okay. Do you have any questions for me before you start? This is, of course, one of my absolute favorites, because sometimes you may not have given the AI all of the information it needs. Therefore, if you start off with, do you have any questions for me before you start? It's going to gather all of the information that you might have missed. And it's going to put that into, it's going to ask you that so you can answer. And then it will give you a much better answer. If you get an answer and it's still complicated, you can say this, explain it to me like I'm in the third grade. I've said this before. Explain one idea at a time. explain the definition, then give 5 examples. This is great if you're learning new vocabulary. You might even just want to say, give an example. When learning new vocabulary, remember it helps to put the sentence in because of context, meaning different words will have different meanings in different sentences. Okay, now this is if you're going to give AI a copy of your own writing. And this can be a longer piece of writing or a sentence, a couple of sentences. But here are ideas on what you could tell the AI to do with your actual writing. Correct my sentences and show me why they're wrong. Focus only on my main mistakes or tell me what my main mistakes are. Make this more formal or informal. Rewrite this like a native English speaker. So this will help you to understand how a native speaker might write this. Show me a more natural way to say this sentence or this paragraph. Make the tone more, and I'm going to give you some tones. It says the next page, actually 2 pages over. You'll see there's a selection of tones. Give me ideas on how to make this writing longer. Improve this, but keep my meaning. Write this using a more tone. Keep my style, just fix my English. This is also a very important one because sometimes we have a specific way of writing. That's your style. And it's good to tell AI that you want to keep your style. As you do more writing, it will start to realize your style and learn it. But in the beginning, you might just want to say, keep my style, or don't say that and just let it edit things so that you create a new style for yourself. Do not change my ideas, replace simple words with better ones. Check this like an English exam and give me exam feedback. Improve my sentences, make my sentences clearer. So these are all things you can use in your writing. Help me practice saying this. Obviously, that would be where you would put this into the AI, but then by saying, help me practice saying this, it's going to use the voice mode to help you with that. Turn this into a speaking answer, same idea. Here is the original question. Did I answer it correctly? So you put in the question and your answer, and you say, did I answer it correctly? Quiz me on this topic. So there you can just put in any topic. Tell me what I did well and what areas I need to practice. What is my biggest mistake? How can I improve my writing? That's always a good one. Create a plan for me of the 5 topics I should focus on practicing first when it comes to maybe learning English, learning grammar, or let's say you're doing a topic, you have a unit in your book for school. You want it to start with the 5 most important topics you should practice first, and then give me different ways to practice this topic. And here's your list of tones. So you could say, like, rewrite this email in a more polite and professional tone. Then here are just a bunch of examples. So this is just for you to have fun with, play around with. Beginner and intermediate. And of course, in the blue, it's always just paste your topic. You have to tell the AI what topic you're working with. And this is how you can practice. And that's what all of these are. It's correct my English. Then it's your turn. So you can paste your writing here. If you want to write 5 sentences about your day, copy it into the prompt for the correction. Study helper, give me 10 questions about this grammar topic. So it's got the way that you can structure your prompt. Writing practice. Vocabulary helper, give me 15 vocabulary words for this topic. Give me a short definition or a photo. You could even, if you had your own list of words, you could say, these are the 15 words I need to learn. Quiz me on these words, right? One by one, step by step. Comments. This is for you if you're a big social media commenter or if you are an influencer yourself. How can you write? So this one, I'll read it actually for you. I want to write a natural comment on social media about this topic. Write 3 versions: friendly, funny, and polite. So then you can pick and choose the 3, but also it shows you, how do you write a funny comment? How do you write a friendly comment? How do you write a polite comment? Explain which one is most natural for native English speakers. Sometimes that's kind of all 3, I think. Write a comment for 5 different social media posts. And here, you could just go into your social media, choose a post, give the AI, say, this is the original post. Here are my comments. What do you think? And then it will tell you. So that's also one. What do you think about these comments? Tone practice, rewrite my comment to sound, and then you can put your tone and your comment. Here's, of course, the comments, but they were also on the other list. And here, actually, it's just trying to get you to see different comments, different tones, I'm sorry. So if you put the different tones in, it'll give you different ways to write your comment. Opinion, if you want to give your opinion on social media, you want to kind of be careful sometimes giving your opinion. So give me 3 sentence starters to share my opinion online about this topic. Give me 3 examples of how I can structure my opinion on this topic. Again, you might want to give the AI the actual social media post, even if you screenshot it or you give it the link, if it's a blog, something like that. Then there's speaking practice with travel and tourism. If you are a tourist or you maybe have tourists coming to your country, you might want to practice questions you could ask them so that you can get better at your English. Remember to also learn the English names for the important places in your city. So yeah, for example, because every name of a monument in your city, it will have the English name and it will have the name in every other language. So you want to make sure you know the English name. Okay, then we've got a little bit of role play where you can use the voice. Pretend we are in a restaurant. You're the waiter. You want to order drinks. Have a natural conversation with me. And then at the end, transcribe. Transcribe means put the conversation we had in writing. Transcribe our conversation and correct any mistakes or give me natural expressions I could also use to help me practice. And if it asks you a question and you don't know what the answer is, say this, or how to answer, I'm sorry, say this. I do not know how to answer that. Please give me 3 different ways. And it will tell you how you could answer that question. Role play 2, being in a clothing store, it's the same idea. Number 3 is advanced. Okay, so this is if you're a more advanced speaker and you want to practice your speaking. This is also advanced. Pretend we are in a restaurant. You are the waiter, and then have a natural conversation with me. Include topics that would normally come up in this conversation. Okay, and again, advanced way of doing that. And then the mistake finder. So here are 3 sentences, or here is a piece of my writing. This can be for anything where you wanted to find the mistakes. Find my mistakes and explain them simply. Suggest 3 ways I could use stronger vocabulary. Suggest 3 ways I could change the structure to create different effects. That means it's almost like different tones in a way. Suggest 3 ways I could make them longer or shorter. Then you've got for your vocabulary, give me 10 synonyms for this word and explain the differences between them. This is great for your vocabulary. And I want to improve my vocabulary. This is my level. Design a quiz with different types of questions to help with your vocabulary. You can also put this, explain the answer to question 1 or 2 or 3 in more detail. Okay. And another thing I do with vocabulary is like, I am an ESL learner. What does this word mean in this sentence? And it will give me, and then I give it the sentence, and it will give me a very simple explanation of that word. Sometimes I don't need to use the sentence. I might say, what does I don't know, determined mean? And it will give me an explanation. Or I could say, what does the word determined mean in this sentence? She was determined to succeed. And then it will also give me an explanation of the word. All right, speaking practice prompts. This is your pronunciation helper. If you want to know how to pronounce certain words, again, with the voice note, explain how to pronounce these words in an American accent or a British accent. And then you can give it 3 words. And if you want it to write the sounds in simple letters. If you want it to write it out phonetically, like in the way it would be in a dictionary, wouldn't normally need that, but you can try. Then more speaking, ask me 3 questions about my job, hobbies, or family. Okay. And then, of course, guys, every prompt you try builds confidence. You are not alone here. Every sentence is progress. Watch the short video. Of course, this is the short video that you're watching. And join my next live lesson in our group, Learn English with Marissa, because I'm going to keep teaching ideas on English. And most importantly, thank you. Thank you for investing in the book. Thank you for learning with me. Be Pat yourself on the back, say well done self, because you are taking ownership of of learning a new language, which it takes a lot of determination. So good for you. And you can do this. You can do this. You have got this. That's what we'd say in as a native speaker, like you've got this. So may it be an amazing year. Hope to see you soon.